of I'm doing something that I don't think I'm really okay with the fact that I'm doing it made me feel estranged from myself. And then it's like I wanted to keep the party going. There were so many nights because I don't indulge in much anymore because it was kind of getting out of hand. And this is many years ago that I'm talking about because I've been on the planet a lot of years. I'll stop with that.
I like you call yourself. That's a true podcaster. You're like, ooh, some people might find this annoying.
Yeah. I'm not sure when I'll stop with it, but I think I'll stop with it. But I would be out, and it would be 1:30, 2:30, the time when most people would just go home, and I didn't want to go home because I didn't want to be with myself. I just wanted to go home with whatever guy I was talking to in the moment.
Okay, so you just wanted to escape.
Yes. I wanted to escape, and then I wanted to escape myself.
Wow, that's interesting. That's a very honest way of looking at it. And I think a lot of people feel like that. Like a lot of what the partying is distraction from their own problems or the goals that they haven't tried to go after, those sort of nagging problems in their life they're not working on.
Totally.
The mind works in such a weird way where you chase after distractions sometimes with all this vigor, but you don't do the same with the actual real issues in your life. You don't chase after them.
Right. Because there's no immediate gratification in doing so.
Yeah, but there's no, even the immediate gratification in chasing after distractions, it's so obvious what you're doing while you're doing it.
Not always to yourself, though.
No. Well, I guess not. It is if you're paying attention, but most times you're not.
Yeah.
It's weird how many different sort of like mechanisms the brain has in place to protect you from all the blind spots.
Right, from discomfort.
Yeah, and all the things that are wrong with your approach,
Yeah. Yeah, I sort of feel like, well, now tell me, is this a self-absorbed way to go through the world? I kind of feel like the point of being on this earth, one of the points, is self-awareness. And to figure out what you're doing and why you're doing it and to kind of become self-actualized.
It certainly helps you be more efficient at what you're doing and also realize what it is you actually enjoy.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, it's an experience, and it's an experience that restarts every day. You go to bed, it shuts off, you wake up and you go, here we go again. And you assume that this is the same life, and you assume that you're not just waking up in some sort of computer program that pretends that you have 41 years of memories. You go about your day, and if you want to make the most out of it, you have to be aware of these mistakes that you keep repeating.
Right.
And sort of just try to not do that anymore and try to get better. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking start eating vegan. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start taking yoga. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start... And you look at like these things as like positive sort of directions that you could get on that maybe will change. And then you like fall off the vegan wagon or you fall off the yoga wagon, you start drinking again. And it's like this constant cycle with a lot of people of like, going on diets and then fucking up and, eating cake, starting an exercise program and then getting fat again. And I think being self-aware helps you to have moments of reflection. And I think meditation is really important too. That's a big one that a lot of people don't like to do. Spend time alone by yourself doing nothing. Do it 20 minutes a day. Just sit down and breathe. Sit down and think, and it will help you tremendously. Because we're on momentum all the time.
Yes. Yesterday I began to feel overwhelmed just from just a bunch of stuff going on. And in the moment, I was just like, I felt kind of shaky. And I'm happy to say I did not go to the kitchen and try to find something to eat to just, sort of my old things that I would have done. I made myself take some deep breaths and tried to calm down. I don't know how well it worked, but at least I felt like that was a healthy way to deal with it in the moment.
Well, I think it definitely worked, right? Because you're talking about it. So
that's true. Well, I'm here today, so
you made it. But you know what I mean? Like you're aware that you wanted to reset your thinking. So you spent some time and you took some deep breaths and you reset your thinking. I think that's real important for people because how many times do you just get in a momentum?
You just react.
I used to date this girl. She used to have crazy road rage. It was hilarious because she wasn't like a big girl or a dangerous girl or anything like that. But when someone cut her off, she's like, "You motherfucker!" And she would like gun the gas and get beside them and swerve in front of them.
Jeez,
she was so crazy. She's from Chicago people. I'm just kidding, but she was just like really aggressive that way, and I had to tell her, I go, "You can't do that with me in the car." I go, "Because we could die. Like, this is fucking stupid."
Yeah.
Like and she was just like so caught up in the momentum of her emotions, and this motherfucker thinks he can cut me off, bitch. It was like this thing that she had done like all the time, and she had never thought about it.
Right.
And in addressing it and calming down and breathing, she was like, "Yeah, I guess I should probably stop doing that." But it's this momentum of this pattern of behavior that's cut so deep. It's such a groove that you always comfortably fall into.
Well, it's like you're... It's that
bulletproof coffee.
It's that bulletproof coffee in my throat. It's like written into your operating software. There's certain people that are programmed to see the world in a way where it's like people are trying to screw me over, and I'm not going to let that happen. And so they'll see it everywhere, even where it isn't.
Yeah.
Excuse the coffee in my throat.
I gotta stop drinking this stuff. We should come up with a better way. Maybe that emulsified MCT oil. Maybe that's the move. Without the butter, give it a shot. That's next move. Sorry.
No, that's it. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
I think everybody does that. I think it's normal, and especially if you have been fucked over before, then you start thinking, "Oh, it's everywhere. God damn it, these fucking people, they're everywhere."
Yeah, I'm not going to be blindsided again.
It's when you actually get fucked over, like in a business deal or with someone who's trying to fuck you over, like financially or something like that. It's very disturbing. It's like, oh, this is a real criminal. I'm involved with a criminal. Someone's trying to rob me.
Has that happened to you?
Yeah, definitely. And when it does happen, you just realize like, whoa, okay. All right, well, some people, this is what they do. And you have to now throw that into the mix. Like, this is a possibility. Some people are just kind of try to steal money from you.
For me, I would need to go back. Still affecting my throat. Excuse me. I would need to, I would begin to think about everything, and I would be like, when was the point at which this started? And I would have to kind of reconsider everything. And that is my own obsession with, sort of like we were talking before, the way that I can prevent this happening in the future is to really understand how this happened now. But I think I get a little too... I mean, I can really, like, I can ruminate on something too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we all can. I think also if something's important to you, and you really want something to work out well, whether it's a podcast you're doing or a comedy show or something like that, you can kind of obsess on things too much. You can get so involved in the details that you kind of, the old expression, you can't see the forest for the trees.
Totally. But like what we were saying earlier about I was saying about trying to talk to myself differently, this might make people barf because it's so hippy dippy new age, like Stuart Smalley almost. But lately, I've been thinking like, is that a loving behavior towards myself that I'm engaging in? So if I'm ruminating about something or obsessing about something or thinking about something that's upsetting me, like, am I being loving towards myself? And then in thinking that way, after I finish vomiting, I think it allows me to actually kind of move on, to like put those thoughts down,
right?
Which is a pretty new thing for me because I have been at the mercy of my thoughts always.
Well, for me, I think I try to avoid a lot of negative behavior and negative thinking because if I allow it, and I always think of myself as like, okay, if I was giving myself advice, how would I treat it? I'd probably be pretty brutally honest. So negative thinking and negative behavior, I try to avoid it almost for the consequences of me chastising myself. Like, I don't want to chastise myself. I want to like me. So if I'm fucking up, like, I don't want to hear me going, "Come on, pussy, get it together." So there's that part of me, like, it's almost like a drill instructor is like looking over my shoulder, making sure that I don't fuck, because like, bitch, I'm right here. Like, I know what you're doing, stupid. Don't get dumb. And I've been dumb, and I think we have all been dumb. And I just think all that self-love and self-help is great, but not if it allows you to continue the same patterns over and over again and still love yourself.
That's where you have to really be honest and make sure that you're rigorously honest with yourself.
Yeah. You can still love yourself and tell yourself you're a fat fuck.
Sometimes that's the most loving thing. I gently, lovingly tell myself I'm a fat fuck.
You say it with such a giant, sweet smile.
That's